is a discussion of the holiday parade request for waiver of fee. We have previously approved the holiday parade date, which is December 4th from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. The parade route, which was proposed, is from the Stocking Works and going along State Street and then ending up in the township at Goodnoe Corner. Excuse me. Council postponed discussing whether we would waive or whether the borough, I guess, would absorb the fees for the police coverage required for this particular parade. So it's back on the agenda again. We need to continue that discussion and hope to resolve it.
So, where you want to go, or want me to go?
There you go.
I thought the last we left it was that the Newtown Corporation was going to meet with the two chiefs of police to see how what the proposal was for police coverage and also for reimbursing of that coverage. I think I at the time said that, you know, heck, I'm very much in favor of parades. I just wanted to have some equal treatment between the township and the borough. If one municipality was going to reimburse, I think both should get reimbursed. If neither are, I'm in favor of not, you know, of taking that under consideration as well. So, do we know? And I know Frank, you're here. Has that meeting been held with the two chiefs?
Both police chiefs were met with. Both police chiefs concurred that they were going to put it in their budget for parades, for police coverage, and then it would be up to, Chief Tony said it'd be up to the Borough Council to approve that, him putting the police fees in his budget, and Chief Pasqualini said the same thing, that he was going to put it in his budget, and that it'd be up to the Board of Supervisors to approve that. So.
When was that meeting?
When was it?
Was that last year? Are we talking last year's meeting?
Oh, no. This was since last time I appeared here.
Oh, okay.
I talked to Chief Pasqualini by phone. His comments were, and as I said to him, up until last year, nobody ever charged for any parades, and it kind of opened the door. And as I said before, you don't pay to see a parade, you pay for everything else, Welcome Day, Market Day, but you don't, vendors come in, but we have to raise money for these parades, and it's a big expense. So the chief had said what he would do is put it into his overtime, and if the supervisors approve his budget, he has no problem with that. He would absorb it, and of course that would be part of his budget. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's already in our police budget. I don't know, Bob, is that correct?
The overtime expenses that traditionally get looked at embrace all aspects of overtime, and typically the part-time police officers are given the opportunity to fill that bill. So we do have a line item budget that says overtime, and it has covered historically expenses for the parade.
Right, and it's not limited just to this holiday parade, because I noticed we passed several events earlier, one being the Goodnoe, and I didn't hear anything about any fees, police charges. Our parade that we do, the Borough Parade, and the 5K Run, which is actually a fundraiser for the library, and I don't think they've ever been charged for police. I volunteered every year to stand out and help direct traffic. I know Gerard has too with me. So, I mean, I think it's part of being a community. So, I don't know why all of a sudden we decide that we're going to punish an organization because of whatever reason and charge them. I mean, that parade isn't a moneymaker. I can tell you that. It costs $13,000 to put on.
Paul, my question wasn't about punishing anybody. It was about, has there been agreement made between the two chiefs, and do you know if Newtown Township will be charging back on security?
And as I said, Chief will put it in his budget. If the supervisors say you have to charge him, then he has to do that. Just as if council tells our chief you have to charge him, then he has to do it. But he himself, in other words, they're putting it into their budget to cover these expenses as it's been done in the past. All right, so I don't know if that quite answers your question, but in other words, they punted the ball, and it's in your, back into your end of the field. So the chiefs are saying, take our orders from council and from the board of supervisors, but, you know, if we don't have to charge, in other words, he's not gonna say, you've got to give me the money. It's up to the boards.
Right. I mean, here's the simple facts. You have a parade application in. A parade is something that is not a money generator. It's a loss. It's a loss for whoever is going to run it. Whether the borough sponsors it and has volunteers, or a business organization or a church or whatever runs the parade, they have certain intrinsic costs that are involved in it. All we're asking is parity with every other organization that runs a parade to waive police fees. And we're asking for the township to do the same, because the parade, as you said, that we did last year, runs through the borough and the township. We're asking for relief from the township as well. We're led to believe that they're going to agree to absorb the police costs. And quite honestly, if either the township or the borough or both come back to us and say, no, we're not going to waive the fees, we're going to have to, as an organization, re-meet and reevaluate what we do going forward. I mean, it's economic times are economic times, and for volunteers to create that much more sponsorship money. I mean, as it is now, it may not be of the same size and level as the parade was last year because of finances. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a pretty simple thing that we're asking for, and I think you have all the information. I mean, it's just a matter of, if the chief has it in his budget, are you willing to approve the police costs in his budget for that? And it's the same thing that we're going to be going to the township for. So,
Right.
we're not playing, mommy off of daddy or anything like that kind of stuff.
Okay, thanks.
If I
Frank,
may,
Last year, I'm sorry, Mike, if you spoke, I didn't hear you.
I like your voice tonight, though, Bob.
I won't
like
go.
it.
Would you have something?
Let me go back for a second, because I think the issue at this point is less about the payment of a fee if the borough and the township treat the event with equality. So if neither charges, I'm not sure there's anybody up here who wants to charge for the parade. The problem is that last year the township got paid and the borough didn't. Now,
You're
may I finish?
going backwards. I'm trying to go forward.
I'm
and
afraid, Frank, it's
Yeah.
my turn. The history is important, because the Newtown Corporation is unlike any other applicant we get for a parade. Why is that? Because you guys have money. You guys have so much money, you could pay $12,000 to do a parade. That's money. According to my notes,
I don't see the relevance of that, Mike.
it's my turn.
I don't see the relevance. If we were in a court of law,
Frank,
I'd
it's my
yell
turn.
up.
It's my turn. You paid bands $2,000. Is that correct?
Yes, we did.
Yes
We
and
paid.
no, which is it?
We paid the Council Rock North and the Council Rock South band. Yes.
Oh, you paid $4,000.
And Truman, right?
And Truman.
So it's $3,000.
I'm sorry?
It's $1,000 each
Okay.
donation.
So you got $3,000 you paid bands. Yes?
Right.
Okay. And then you paid $9,000 for what?
I don't have the breakdown, Mike, and I don't know what the relevance of it is.
Well, give me a broad category. What was the other $9,000?
You had bands. They had all kinds of different fees.
$9,000 for a holiday parade?
Yeah.
All right. Here's my point.
Did you like it?
Here's my point. If you have $3,000 for a band and you have $9,000 for I'm not quite sure what else, you ought to be able to pay $662.40
Well,
to the borough.
I did say before
It's
that.
my turn, Frank.
Well,
Let me
I did say
finish.
before
Let
that
me
we-
finish.
no,
May
no,
I?
no.
May I?
Yes,
the floor?
you just let it
You're after done.
It's $662.40. Now, in the scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, but it is to us because the principle here is important. The corporation had absolutely no problem paying the township for their police protection for this, for their coverage. For whatever reason, and I'm not sure, the corporation just absolutely refuses to reimburse the borough, when it seems to me it's just a logical right thing to do and to move on. Because as I just said, I think the equality of the parades between the township and the borough when it comes to police services should be there. And if they're not going to charge, we won't charge, and vice versa. I don't have any problem going forward. But again, I return to the history because it's important when you have $12,000 to do a parade, when you pay $3,000 to bands, you can pay our relatively insignificant $662.40 because the police services are critical to the parade happening in the first place. And yet the corporation refuses to do so for whatever reason I don't understand. So the corporation is unique from any other parade applicant. And for the corporation to say, we want to be treated like everyone else is a little disingenuous because you got money and everybody doesn't. No one else has it. You do. And if you can pay the township, you can pay the borough. Now, I have a suggestion for you on how to cut this Gordian knot. It's not hard. You sent an email and you said the board of the Newtown Corporation, and I'm serious, folks, when I read this, I'm paraphrasing, basically refuse in the future to pay police fees for community parades. Now, I'm not quite sure how you get around it. Both municipalities say, you know, you've got to reimburse us. But notwithstanding that, the Newtown Corporation also unanimously voted not to pay the $662.40 the borough charged for police coverage, but it would vote, this is the good news, it would vote to donate $300 to the Linton Hill Park Swing Fund.
That's correct.
So now we're down to the difference of $362.40. So here's what I suggest. My suggestion is the corporation donate to the Linton Hill Park Swing Fund $662.40. How about that?
Why
don't you take that
listen,
back?
I'll bring back, but I want to, are you done? Because I want to answer some of your questions that you asked me.
And that's just my suggestion. We take care of our reimbursement for last year. It goes to a good purpose, and we'll move on, hopefully, on the same footing as the township as far as police coverage. But don't ever, ever, for a moment, think that if you spend $12,000 on a Christmas parade, you're entitled to the same consideration of all these other nonprofits out there who don't have any money. You do. What you choose to spend it on is another matter, but you shouldn't begrudge the people of this borough the cost of reimbursement for police services for that parade when you have the money.
All right. I don't understand what what any organization's financial records have to do with anything. When I leave here, I'm going to go down to Music in the Park. It's a free will donation for popcorn and soda. Now, if I go up there, are they going to ask me for my W-2? You know, if I only give them $1? I don't know what the relevance of that is. You stated we spent, $12,000 for the parade. I said to you prior to, don't know what we're going to be able to spend this year for the parade. You know, economic times are economic times. And to go back, to answer the big question I asked, why did the Board of Directors of Newtown Corporation vote to not pay that $662 and whatever the cents were, is because prior to that event, like any organization has prior to an event, they have a sit-down with the municipality. We had a sit-down with the borough. We had a sit-down with Chief Tony last year. The people who were the chair and the vice chair of this committee had a sit-down with him, went over what are the police costs going to be, what are this going to be, what do we need to do, what permits do we need, what this. Chief reassured that those two folks that there were no fees involved, that there was an ordinance and that the borough does not charge organizations for doing parades. On the way out, said, are you sure we don't need to do anything? We just need to pay the application fee. Yes. This same group met with the township supervisor liaison, the township manager, and Chief Pasqualini, who informed the organization that there was going to be a fee and stated the fee. So a fee was stated, agreed upon, it was paid. The borough had an ordinance that waived fees. So I can't be much more simpler than that. It's not defiance, it's just following the rules. And our $300 donation to Linton Park is exclusive of this issue. It's in response to the fact that we gave a $300 donation to the skate park when that was being built. And obviously in the need of the financial crisis that we have here in the borough, I actually brought that up, asked if we would be willing to donate some money to the swing park, the swing sets, and that's the figure that the group came up with.